Oh, hello. Welcome to episode somewhere in the mid 40s of the franchise.
45.
Thank you. I'm your host, Daniel Ehrenberg.
And I'm your host, Henry Papali, and welcome, folks, to Iron Man 2 and 3.
That's right. There are three Iron Man movies, and it composes a trilogy. Well, our old friend, the trilogy. And it does not work as a trilogy, and we'll get to why. You want to just jump right in? Let's start with Iron Man 2.
All right.
Iron Man 2, fondly remembered as every time you ask someone, are there any bad Marvel movies, Iron Man 2 comes up. Isn't that true?
Yeah, it's not something I agree with. But
No,
yeah,
I don't either, but I feel like everyone that loves the Marvel movies, if you try and have a conversation with them, but like, hey, but aren't there fucking bad ones?
Yeah.
Someone always brings up Iron Man 2.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's entirely fair.
I don't either. I'm going to go ahead and defend this movie
So am I.
pretty hardcore today.
Yeah, man. All right. Yeah, I am too. That won't make for
No, it's
any
okay
arguments,
because
but,
it's a
yeah.
mess. This movie is a busy, cluttered mess.
That's what 3 is to me, but yeah.
But that's crazy to me. Okay, but almost everything in it works to some degree. All right.
Mhm.
So Iron Man 2, directed by Jon Favreau, written by star of The Leftovers, Justin Theroux.
Yeah.
That's right.
The writer of Rock of Ages.
And Tropic Thunder. That's how he got this gig.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like Justin Theroux.
I like Justin Theroux plenty as an actor. It's just so
Right.
weird that he's written an Iron Man movie.
Yeah, it is very strange.
Yeah. Why didn't he write himself a role in this bad boy?
I don't know. I remember, I think the first time I saw him in anything was probably 6 Feet Under.
Oh, me too. Parks and Rec was another early one.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got weird hair in that show.
I don't even
I don't
remember.
really know what's going on. He's got a widow's peak and a half.
Oh, all right.
He's a good actor. He could have played the Sam Rockwell role. Not that I
Yeah.
don't want Sam Rockwell in this movie.
Oh, he's great. Yeah.
Is it too early to say that he's my MVP?
He's mine too, so
Okay.
whatever. I have a tie for my MVP, but he's the MVP.
Okay. Iron Man 2 released May 7th, 2010. Oh, baby, that early May release. That means it's like big time.
Yeah.
Budget of $200 million, up by 60 from the first movie. All right, but who gives a shit? Box office of 623.9. That's just domestic, I believe. So, it was number 3 in box office for 2010.
Oh.
All right.
All right. I have I found our old lists that we made.
What do you
for fun.
mean?
I found them, the big old lists we had that we made at the store, like we talked about last week.
You don't have mine, do you?
No, I have mine.
Oh, okay.
Why would I have yours? No, I just pulled it out because it was fun. I found all of them, and I looked at my top 10 for 2010.
Oh, yeah?
But I don't think it's going to aid me in box office.
All right, yeah, well, you'll tell me. It really won't, honestly. I'm going to go ahead and predict one movie in your top 10 is on the top 10 box office, and that movie is not in my top 10.
I think you're right and right.
Okay, so this top 10's crazy. There's so much kids shit. There are no movies for adults on this box office 10 for 2010. So, all right, what do you got? What do you think's on there?
Well, the only one on my list that would make any sense for that top 10 box office, I have Inception.
Inception is number 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
The rest, nothing I wrote is going to be in that top 10.
I'll say the number 1 box office movie, I believe, was on my top 10 best of the year.
Really?
Yeah. but we'll see when we get there. All right, number 10, Disney animated. It's one of these fairy tale things. Oh,
I don't have a fucking clue, man.
hey, Tangled.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did really well last week on the animation. That was probably a one-trick pony.
Yeah,
so.
you're gonna be a loser this week. Number 9. It's a DreamWorks animation, and I think my brain's not working today. Jay Baruchel, I think, is a voice in this bad boy.
Oh, I know him.
Yeah.
But that doesn't fucking help me at all. Yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon. Number 8, the 4th movie in an animated franchise.
Shrek.
Boom, Shrek, Forever After.
All right.
There you go. Number 7, the first movie in a DreamWorks animated franchise.
Boy, DreamWorks.
Yep.
I don't know.
Despicable Me.
Okay. Wow, that was that long ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 6 is Inception. Number 5, the penultimate part of an 8-film series. Live action.
8 films, that helps me a little bit, actually. Fast and the Furious.
No.
8, Harry Potter.
That's it. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 1.
Okay.
Number 4, the middle chapter in a 5-film series.
Fast and the Furious.
There's more than that.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Twilight Saga.
I was just going to say that.
Eclipse.
Yeah.
All right, so number 3 is Iron Man 2. Number 2, we've got Tim Burton's highest grossing film of all time.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that Alice in Wonderland?
That is correct. Well done.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Number 1, a legitimately great film, animated. Pixar.
Oh, 2010. Is that Toy Story 3?
That is correct. Well
I
done.
did very well, actually.
You did all right.
I missed like one.
You missed more than one.
You want to hear some of the movies on my top 10?
Oh, man, I wish you'd warned me. I might have dug my top 10 up. What's on yours?
That's all right. We'll do it next time. Starting at number 10.
No, don't give me all of them. Just like, what's your like top 3 or something?
Number 1 was Blue Valentine.
Oh, okay. I can remember this. That was number 2 on my list. Oh, I remember. Okay, so my number 1 was The Social Network. I remember that.
Was that 2000? Oh, I'd have to revise this now. I came around on that movie, as you
Yeah,
recall.
you didn't like it at first.
Yeah, no, I would probably make it now. All right. Well, anyway, this is dated 2011
Okay.
or 2012, whatever. I don't know when we did it. My number 2 movie of 2010 was 127 Hours.
Yeah, that was on my list somewhere.
My number 3 was Black Swan.
Yeah, I think that might have been my number 3 or thereabouts as well.
And I'm just going to give you my number 4 because
Okay.
it's funny. Exit Through the Gift Shop.
That was on my list. We have similar lists for that year.
I think we really do because I got Greenberg on there and Dogtooth. And
yeah, those were both on mine too. Hey,
Right.
all right, yeah.
yeah.
We nailed it for 2010. That was a good year.
Yeah.
All right, so they rushed this Iron Man 2 out. It comes out 2 years after the first one. We have discussed before on this podcast the optimal period of waiting for sequels is 3 years.
Yeah, I remember too. This is the only one, along with the first Thor, that I did not see in theaters.
Oh yeah,
I've seen all of them. I know you haven't seen a bunch.
Yeah, I saw Iron Man 2
You saw
in
this
theaters,
in
though. Yeah, for sure. I was excited
I
about
did.
Iron Man 2. All that Black Widow. The original script used the Mandarin as its villain, and we'll get to him a little more in the third one, and set up the Demon in the Bottle storyline, which is a storyline from the comics in which Tony confronts his alcoholism, and which you are currently reading. Is that correct?
Yeah, I decided after last week to try to check it out, so I'm almost finished it. Yeah, I'm reading it right now.
And
it's interesting. It's you got to put yourself in the time in terms of the style of the art. The art's easier to get over than the writing. There's about 1,000 thought bubbles, and every action is contemplated. Like, my iron is compromised.
Is it Michelini and Leighton?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the team.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's good. I can see why it's so influential. That's for sure. You got little appearances by Namor and Ant-Man. And yeah. And lots of Rhodey in it. Lots of Rhodey.
Oh, he was big at the time. This is right before, because around like 82 or something like that was when they made James Rhodes Iron Man.
Yeah, because there ain't no War Machine to be found in this. So I was going to ask you, when did that all come about? Did that already happen?
No. They made Rhodes Iron Man.
Okay.
And then when Tony Stark, regained the mantle, they created War Machine so they could still use Rhodey as a superhero.
I see.
Yeah. And that's why he's War Machine. He has 1,000 guns, because it happened in the late 80s when the Punisher was really big, and so everything had to be dark and badass.
Yeah.
Go back and read late 80s Spider-Man comics, and he's not quipping. He's brooding and being weird.
Yeah, like that one I showed you that one time I had. He's in the black suit, and it's not funny at all.
Yeah, it's super weird.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk casting. Emily Blunt was offered the role of the Black Widow. Are you familiar?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. She would later work with Justin Theroux in The Girl on the Train. Right?
You have seen, I have not.
Yeah, it was all right. So she had to turn it down. Do you know why?
Nope.
Filming ran long on Gulliver's Travels with Jack Black.
Oh
man,
boy.
That is a real Tom Selleck not being able to be Indiana Jones situation.
Yeah, or that other dude you love to talk about, who Wolverine guy.
Oh, Dougray Scott.
Yeah. Oh,
filming
boy.
ran long on Mission Impossible 2, so he couldn't be Wolverine. That is so fucking amazing.
Oh man.
Hey, now that
Emily
Jackman's retiring, maybe Dougray Scott can finally get his chance.
But Emily Blunt did all right for herself. It didn't hurt her at all, really.
Scarlett Johansson's the highest grossing female actress of all time.
I retract my statement.
I mean, largely because of the Marvel movies.
Right.
But I mean, Lucy, that did well, right?
Yeah, Ghost in the Shell, we'll see what happens, right?
I don't know how that's doing. I haven't really looked.
I don't either.
Hey, ScarJo.
Yeah.
Hey, I've always had a theory about this. When people talk about famous actors being the highest grossing actors of all time, it's always weird to me when it's something like Scarlett Johansson, where it's largely she's playing the same character in a film franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always said, if we're going to not really look at the box office draw or whatever, then the highest grossing actor of all time has to be Stan Lee. He has a cameo in every Marvel movie, and every one of these things makes crazy bank.
That's a good point, man. And he when did he start this? In Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man?
Does he show up in X-Men?
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think he did, but
I don't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, Stan Lee. He's the number one highest grossing actor of all time.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Yeah, I like it. I like that theory. We don't know the extent of his talent. He could be a great actor.
Sure. He's great as Larry King in Iron Man 2.
He sure is.
Yeah. He's really wearing those suspenders.
For that millisecond of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we also should deal with the fact that Terrence Howard's gone.
He's out.
And now James Rhodes all of a sudden is a darker skinned black man who's about a foot shorter.
Nobody noticed, though.
Nobody notices.
I thought Tony Stark was supposed to be a genius, but, whatever. That's just me.
I guess not. I don't know. So Cheadle is around, and I did some research into why this is.
Okay.
It turns out Terrence Howard, coming off a Hustle and Flow, Robert Downey Jr.'s career was so dead that Terrence Howard got paid more money than Robert Downey Jr. to be in the first Iron Man movie.
That, you know what? That sounds like that's something I have heard like a million years ago.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Wow.
So they told Terrence Howard, we can't do that anymore.
Obviously.
And so he walked. That was it. They didn't get the. I mean, honestly, like they were rushing this movie 2 years after the first movie, and they didn't. They just never came to a contract negotiation.
Yeah.
So Howard's gone forever from the Marvel. You know what would be great? Fuck you if Terrence Howard showed up in DC.
That would be hilarious.
He should, man. He could have played Deadshot,
Black Green Lantern,
Suicide Squad. Yeah, Black Green Lantern. Yeah, they already have Cyborg cast, so he has to play Black Green Lantern. Right. Yeah. Oh God, those movies. Are there any black people in the Wonder Woman movie?
Not that I know of.
There can't be,
but I haven't,
right?
seen it.
They can't be. They didn't make Steve Trevor black.
No, I mean maybe there's some black Amazons. I don't know.
Do you know who's playing Steve Trevor?
Chris Pine, right?
Oh, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Chris Pine. Yeah. Human charisma vacuum. No, I shouldn't say. Chris Pine's all right.
He's all right, man.
No, that's right. I'm all high on him now after Hell or High Water.
That's right.
I can't talk shit about Pine anymore.
And I think he's a fine Captain Kirk. I think he's very
good. He's very good. But I used to think he was a one-trick pony until I saw Hell or High Water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, of course, this was nominated for 1 Oscar, Best Visual Effects. It lost to Inception. That's fine. Hey, you want to do the plot?
Yeah, you didn't even mention Mickey Rourke, but I guess we'll get to him at some point.
We'll get to everybody, man.
Oh, okay. Well, you were doing casting, so I didn't know.
Oh, well, I mean, Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke actually is an interesting casting story. He had just won Best Actor for the Wrestler over there.
Actually, he lost, but he was nominated.
Who won?
Sean Penn for Milk.
Oh, that's deserving. Rourke won the Golden Globe, though, did he not?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so he was on a career high, and he held out for a ton of bank to be in Iron Man 2. And honestly, they shouldn't have paid him. And he
really?
Yeah, Mickey Rourke. I love Mickey Rourke.
He's one of my favorite actors of all time.
He made a horrible career mistake following The Wrestler.
Oh, I thought you were going to say when he quit in 1990, but yeah.
Listen,
and pursued boxing.
No, well, he's had a career of mistakes, but
yeah. What did he make? What after The Wrestler? I don't know this.
Look, I just think he reestablished himself with The Wrestler as a legitimately good actor, but it's not like The Wrestler made a ton of money.
Right.
I think Mickey Rourke got the notice for The Wrestler and was like, oh my God, I'm a movie star again.
Oh.
And so after The Wrestler, I remember reading stories. He got paid a ton of money to be in this. He got paid a bunch of money to do one scene in The Expendables, sort of an extended sequence.
Mm-hmm.
And no one cares, dude. Mickey Rourke should have just like quieted down. He could have like in his old age had like a Jeff Bridges career or something.
That's a really good comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was doing, thinking he's a movie star again.
Well, he's
like, what? How does it help Mickey Rourke's career to play Whiplash in Iron Man 2 and do like a weird Russian accent the entire time?
I don't know. I mean, he's a very eccentric, strange guy. So I don't know how his mind works, and I don't know. I mean, I didn't think of that, but you're right in that Iron Man 2, as far as I can remember, didn't really land him any kind of amazing roles afterwards. I mean,
what's the last thing you saw Mickey Rourke in? Like
Iron Man
probably the couple of things he did right after The Wrestler.
Yeah, I don't remember anything. Yeah.
He could have gotten. I mean, like he could have even like done a TV show or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mickey Rourke could have played the Ed Harris role on Westworld or something. Like,
oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Could have done a Crazy Heart or a True Grit type thing.
Yeah, big time, man.
Or even, I'm kind of surprised that Tarantino didn't grab him for something.
Wasn't he in a Tarantino thing?
He was in a Robert Rodriguez thing.
He's in Sin City.
Yeah, but he's also in Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
That's a good movie.
I hated that movie.
Really? I liked it. Maybe we should do those movies sometime soon.
The trilogy of it, right?
Well, are there 3 of them? Yeah, I guess
El Mariachi, Desperado, and then that one, right?
Yeah. All right. So what's the plot of this fucker?
So Tony's famous now as Iron Man, and he's a real superstar. And while starting in America, he has an amazing opening where he jumps out of an airplane to AC/DC Shoot to Thrill.
Oh, God. All right. Do you want to get your AC/DC shit out of the way right now?
Hey, man, you've talked about Gilmore Girls like 1,000 times. I never get to talk about any of these things that I love.
So do it.
No, but there's not much to say.
No, there is something to say. The soundtrack to this movie is bizarre.
Yeah, well, they only have 2 songs in the movie.
But the
well,
soundtrack album.
Right. They released a 15-track sort of greatest hits from both eras of AC/DC. The Bon Scott and Brian Johnson is such nerdy shit no one gives a shit about. But it was a big selling soundtrack, and I think it's just basically because Favreau's a huge fan of AC/DC.
It's just insane that AC/DC has a greatest hits album called the Iron Man 2 soundtrack.
It's very weird. I mean, it harkens back to Who Made Who when they did that awful Stephen King movie. But they actually had written a song called Who Made Who, which is a great song, and they wrote that for that album. So this is kind of their second foray.
Who made whom? I'm going to go ahead and correct AC/DC's grammar.
Whom? Ain't nobody told thee. And so the soundtrack was like a big seller, and it was like came with a booklet and everything. I got a free promo copy, and had a DVD with it, and they made like a music video for Shoot to Thrill, and which essentially is in the movie because it's just a bunch of dancing girls. It's completely ridiculous, but entertaining.
It's a fun sequence.
It's very funny. Yeah. And,
it's basically like it's Tony Stark delivering a Steve Jobs-esque like product reveal, except he shows up wearing an Iron Man suit.
Right, and so the music's pumping behind him, and really that's kind of I guess with the AC/DC thing, they released 2 soundtracks, that one and then the score, another unremarkable score.
Better than the first one.
It is better than the first one. It's by John Debney.
Who's that?
He's pretty much a nobody. He's done a lot of music for a lot of movies, none of which stood out to me, but I guess he worked with Jon Favreau before, and so Favreau pulled him back. I think he worked on Elf or something.
Who could forget that classic Zathura score?
Yeah, right. Yeah. But yeah, AC/DC was in the middle of their Black Ice tour, so it came out.
That was the Walmart exclusive album they did?
That's right. I didn't buy it at Walmart. Um, and so this came out like 2 years into their tour, so it helped their sales. And yeah, very strange all around.
That's the record with Rock and Roll Train on it?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And on the soundtrack to Iron Man 2, another song from that album, Black Ice, is War Machine.
Oh, yeah.
Which I guarantee you they did not know anything existed of a character named War Machine.
Are you certain about that?
I couldn't possibly be more certain because they're the most unhip dudes who
yeah,
ever.
But they might have been told by Marvel.
I highly doubt it. They wrote that song like 3 years before any of this happened.
There's a new Netflix movie coming out soon with Brad Pitt called War Machine. Which
you mentioned that a while ago, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's weird.
But that's, you can't avoid that comparison. This one was just strange. But anyway, so
okay.
back in Russia, we got Mickey Rourke's dad, Anton Vanko, just died, and he was a partner of Howard Stark, Tony's dad.
Howard Stark played in flashbacks in this movie by the great John Slattery.
Yes.
Roger Sterling of Mad Men. So fucking perfect.
Agreed. And so essentially, pretty simple. Ivan Vanko, Mickey Rourke, blames Tony Stark and Howard Stark for betraying his father and deporting him and using his weapons to, kill a bunch of people in different wars around the world. And so he comes over and develops, gets the arc, recreates, right, sort of the arc reactor.
Yeah, sure.
And one of the weirdest weapons, I even made a note of it, the 2 whips.
Electric whips.
That's what he decides to make out of the arc reactor. Very odd to me.
Well, it's because it's based on a shitty comic book villain called Whiplash, and so he has to have whips.
And as I'm learning in Demon in a Bottle, thank God they didn't dress him like they dressed Whiplash in that.
Yeah.
Wow. He looks like a Shriner or something. It's insane. Yeah.
It's something.
So then we got the other villain of Sam Rockwell,
Justin Hammer,
right? Who's also in Demon in a Bottle as an old man, and he joins forces.
Frequently a Spider-Man villain, but
okay.
I guess they had access to him.
Sure. So he joins forces with Mickey Rourke to take down Iron Man and sell weapons to the government. Blah 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 blah. And that's kind of the plot. So Iron Man, right? And then Iron Man's what's he doing? He's drinking red wine in a highball. He's got
a new assistant.
He sure does. And that's one of my favorite moments in the movie. I thought it was very funny. I will say I only remembered one scene from this movie at all.
Which was it?
The racetrack sequence.
See, I remembered the first big Black Widow action sequence.
I did not.
Because I thought that was baller at the time, and I still do.
So do I. But I didn't remember it. But I love her appearance when he meets her in the boxing ring. Yeah. It's a very, very funny, like, almost, I mean, it's, what's the word I'm looking for? It's, fawning, but self-consciously fawning over just how fucking beautiful Scarlett Johansson is.
Well, and just how awesome the character seems to be.
Yeah, but like she gets into the ring and like Tony's just staring at her and she's staring back at him and we're staring at her and she's just lit like an angel.
And Gwyneth Paltrow is pretty funny in that scene, actually. I like her just like, no, we're not. This isn't happening. And then Tony at the very end of the scene just going, I have to have one. Or something.
Oh, I forgot one of my notes, which was funny. I wrote that the opening scene with the shoot to thrill reminded me of the James Brown scene in Rocky IV.
That's a good call, sure.
Yeah, he's like Apollo Creeding it up there.
There are a lot of cameos in that opening scene. I mean, Stan Lee is Larry King, of course, but a Olivia Munn shows up because it's 2010 and every nerd in America was jerking off to her. She was on like G4 at the time. Like,
then you got it.
It's so crazy. Like Olivia Munn has an acting career now, and like she was just this like lady that like she had a career because she was like a hot lady that knew about nerdy stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you see Kate Mara.
Yeah, Kate Mara, the lesser Mara, but
oh
no, come on, she is, but she's still good. I like Kate Mara. Okay,
so
you know, House of Cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, she shows up for a second, and Elon Musk pops up as himself.
Yeah.
Which I kind of enjoyed.
Very strange.
Yeah.
I thought it was. I saw an interesting coinkydink that the DP on this movie, again, that Matthew Libatique, the guy who worked with Aronofsky, worked with Mickey Rourke before on The Wrestler.
Sure.
So he knows how to light a Rourkester.
Oh, God. light my good side. What? Which side is that? Okay.
Light the side with my facelift that I Botox and my hairline. He is a mess.
Man,
Oof.
the hair he is rocking in this movie with the blonde, the greasiest blonde streaks you can imagine. It's crazy.
I guarantee you that was not even makeup for the movie. That was probably just his haircut at the time.
Yeah, and Favreau was like, perfect.
Yeah. Don't change a thing.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Fucking Smarmlash.
Oh, and we were wrong. Smarmlash. We were wrong last week about Cap Shield because that makes the appearance in this movie.
It does, but I think it might be in the background or something.
You think we still might have missed it?
Yeah. I know in Iron Man 2 he like literally brings it out and shit, but like, you know, whatever. So where was the Marvel Universe at in Iron Man 2? Is Iron Man 2 the third Marvel movie?
Yeah,
They really knocked these Iron Mans out. Because, I guess Iron Man and then the Incredible Hulk and then Iron Man 2.
That's right.
And then is Captain America the first Avenger after this?
No. After this was the first Thor.
Oh, okay.
And then Captain America. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And I always remember thinking that, I think I told you this at the time, I always thought it was one of the worst marketing decisions for the Incredible Hulk to come out when it did. Because it was literally sandwiched. This came out, Iron Man 1 came out in May 2008. The Dark Knight came out in, July 2008?
Yeah.
And Incredible Hulk comes out in June 2008, and really nobody, I don't think they gave a shit.
Well, they would
and that
now.
Sucks
They
because
would
we'll get
now.
to it.
Marvel did not have the clout. It was like...
Why did they do that?
I don't know. It was too soon after Ang Lee's Hulk, first of all. And I think like now you could put out a Hulk movie.
Well, sure.
And have it be a hit, but not then. It was still kind of a hit, but
yeah, I mean, it made money. I always felt bad for it because it was like people were still seeing Iron Man in the theaters when
it is the forgotten fucking redheaded stepchild of the Marvel Universe.
Totally is.
Because it's like it came out right on the heels of Iron Man and didn't make as much money, and B, it doesn't even have like the Hulk from the Avengers in it, because Ruffalo now has like cemented his place in the MCU as the Hulk. And
you don't have to make that sound every time you do the MCU.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Was there any talk in your office about the Incredible Hulk? You talked so much last week about Iron Man. Did anyone even talk about
Oh yeah, I mean, people were excited about it, but not to the degree. Like the Iron Man thing, there was a curiosity factor because it was the first of the cinematic universe, and Incredible Hulk didn't really have that.
Yeah.
Like, people were excited about the Incredible Hulk in as much as it was like, hey, it's cool they got Ed Norton. And like,
Right.
And who's the lady in that one?
Liv
Liv
Tyler.
Tyler, right?
Yeah.
God, I haven't seen that since theaters. Now, I gotta tell you, I don't remember a single scene from it.
I love it.
I know
own
you
it.
do.
You know I love it. It's one of my favorite Marvel movies. I love it. But getting back to Iron Man 2, I love the Senate sequence. I thought was great with Gary Shandling.
Oh, the late great Gary Shandling.
My God, yes.
I'd forgotten he was in this movie, and I was very excited. And he was in it kind of a lot.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
More than I remembered. Yeah. That's not his last appearance, too, right? He's in one of the other ones because he turns out to be like a Hydra.
Yeah, he pops up in something.
Maybe it's
Avengers?
Winter Soldier.
Might be Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And I just love that whole sequence. The dialogue in it is really snappy and great. And I love when Tony shows the video of Justin Hammer's attempts at recreating.
And Sam Rockwell trying to unplug the television is great. And doesn't Gary Shandling get to say "fuck you" to Tony Stark? I believe we get an F word in that scene.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
And I didn't think anything of it at the time, but this is not a rated R movie.
Yeah.
Wow. You're right. How'd they pull that one off? I guess you're allowed.
You can say fuck a couple times in a PG-13. It's just interesting to see it in. I mean, these Marvel movies are directed at all audiences.
It's true.
Literally everyone in the fucking world.
Yeah.
And so, it's interesting to slip in a fuck. Justin Theroux, he had to do it. He's dark.
Yeah, I love it.
A little Kevin Garvey coming out in the script.
Yeah, right. When we get to Iron Man 3, we'll see that Shane Black has his favorite word in that movie.
What's that?
We'll get there.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, now I'm going to have to defend Iron Man 3 a little bit from your wrath. Yeah.
That's all right. Well, we're not done yet. Are we done with this?
No, we're not. I got a lot more to say.
Go ahead.
I think War Machine is badly botched in Iron Man 2.
How so?
First of all, I think Don Cheadle's a better actor than Terrence Howard. I kind of miss Terrence Howard.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Because I also agree that Don Cheadle is a better actor, but I agree for like continuity's sake and all the great scenes they had in the first Iron Man. I do feel like he's missed. I mean, I'm used to Don Cheadle now because he's been in a lot more. But yeah, I agree with you.
It doesn't help that the first time we see James Rhodes in an iron suit is a comedy scene, basically.
Yeah.
He's, I mean, Tony's drunk at this birthday party he throws
because he thinks he's going to die. Yeah.
We see Tony dressed as Iron Man scratching a record.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, would not work. The record would just break. He's playing California Love. And then
the record's made out of vibranium.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and the visuals in that don't work either. Like him without the helmet on, they're not at the point yet where that's like can be done in a suave manner. So he just looks really fucking fake.
It looks silly.
It looks like a Muppet.
Yeah. And then like James Rhodes shows up dressed as like sort of a nascent version of War Machine. And they get in a fight, and there's like a DJ there, and Iron Man asks the DJ to like drop a beat for the fight.
Yeah. Isn't that a famous DJ, by the way?
All right, now I want to talk about this DJ.
Okay, I figured. It's like he did not miss this. Yeah.
All right, this is DJ AM.
Yeah.
He was dead by the time this movie came out.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this guy. Okay.
Okay. So he got his start in the band Crazy Town, which is why I played the song Butterfly by Crazy Town at the beginning of the movie. At the beginning of the podcast.
Got it.
one of the worst songs ever written. Used to good comedic effect in the movie Orange County, if you've ever seen that.
Oh yeah, I saw that a million years ago.
Yeah. Every time he walks by like a dickhead at school, they're holding a boombox, playing that song.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's a good bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, so DJ AM was in Crazy Town, and then by this point he was working with Travis Barker, the drummer from Blink 182. And they got into a plane crash together, and they both survived. But like DJ AM like spiraled into drugs. I mean, he was already doing drugs, but after that, like he like lost it a little bit, and like they were both like recovering from surgeries after the plane crash. It's so weird. And DJ AM ended up I don't know if he killed himself or if he accidentally overdosed, but yeah, I mean, he died like really soon after filming this weird, stupid cameo in Iron Man. Oh,
bizarre.
2.
Did they like dedicate the movie to him or anything like that? Or
I think there's a thing at the end, like special thanks name. Or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, there's DJ AM in this weird comedy scene.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
Bizarre. Okay, that's interesting. I also love the dichotomy of that. You say DJ AM, and I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. Yet I give the AC/DC education.
But I know what you're talking about. That's the difference.
True. It's true. But just shows
I knew what you were getting at with the 2 eras of AC/DC.
It just shows the age gap and the how unhip I am.
It's true. This really is a Gen X / millennial podcast.
Yeah.
That's right. I just found out last night that the next, like, the younger than millennials, you know, that generation, they're being referred to as the makers.
The makers?
Someone said that last night.
Huh.
Yeah.
What are they making?
Complaints? Hey, they're better than us.
Oh, right. I forgot.
Every generation is better than the previous one.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
I really believe that.
I always forget that. Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're more hashtag woke. I said that in the cadence of a joke, but I'm kind of right, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
we don't have to get into all that.
I just think like racism and homophobia will diminish with each generation, and that's a good thing.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Where the fuck were we? You got a Thor stinger at the end.
Sure, directed by Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun. It was nice.
That was nice
Clark
because
Gregg
I didn't remember the stinger what it was going to be. I did not remember. I figured it would be Thor because I knew that was the next movie, but I didn't remember anything about it. It was cool.
There's the hammer. You know,
Coulson.
It was funny because I watched this movie with someone that doesn't really know anything about the Marvel Universe. And at that Thor, the thing at the end with the hammer, she was just like, what's that? And I was like, it's to get you pumped for Thor.
It's He-Man's hammer.
Yeah. But it's true. If you don't know anything about Thor, like, you don't give a shit about that.
Yeah. It's the anvil to forge something from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I mean, to someone that knows nothing about Thor, it's like, you know, she's asking me, like, what is that? And I'm like, aren't you excited? It's Mjolnir.
Say the name of it again.
Mjolnir.
I love it.
Yeah.
I forgot it had a name.
Yeah. All right.
Who played Mjolnir?
In Thor?
Yeah.
Who played Mjolnir?
Yeah.
Well,
it had to be a piece of lead, so come on.
Sam Rockwell reprising his role as Hammer.
Oh, nice. Took that joke in a different direction.
Yeah.
Well done. Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Well.
All right.
You want to dive into wrap this one up?
Yeah, let's wrap up Iron Man 2.
All right. You want me to give him a soups?
Oh yeah, superhero count.
All right. I'll give you the two that I'm not sure count as superheroes. That's what I want to ask your opinion on.
Okay.
Don Cheadle appeared in Meteor Man.
Oh, that counts, baby. Meteor Man. Yeah, Meteor Man had every black actor in the world. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, go back and watch Meteor Man, and it's like, oh, hey, it's Big Daddy Kane, the rapper, and then it's like, oh, hey, it's Bill Cosby. I
don't think I ever saw Meteor Man, but I'm a huge fan of Robert Townsend's Hollywood Shuffle. I still love that movie.
I've never seen that, but I've seen Meteor Man.
Yeah. So Don Cheadle.
Okay.
Does Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles count?
Absolutely.
And Sam Rockwell played a thug in the first one.
Oh, that's fucking true. And I've noticed it. Like since I've become aware of Sam Rockwell, I have rewatched the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and you're like, oh my god, that's Sam Rockwell.
That's awesome.
It's real weird.
And then two I didn't have to look up. Obviously, Kate Mara. Who plays Sue Richards or Sue Storm, whatever.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, in the aborted reboot of the Fantastic Four. Yeah,
and Olivia Munn,
truly the lesser Mara.
Yeah, woo, baby. And Olivia Munn plays Psylocke in the current incarnation in the X.
That's right, and she'll be in nerd shit till she's dead. Yeah. She looks the part. She's just not an actor.
She's fine.
She's okay in the newsroom, actually. That's like
right.
The one thing I've enjoyed her in as Sabbath Sloan. Or Sloan to Sabbath. Aaron Sorkin, ever a maniac in naming characters.
I think him and Sly should get together so Lincoln Hawk and Sloan Sabbath can have a kid.
President Josiah Bartlett. He's the best.
Sloan Hawk Sabbath. So our MVPs are Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell, we didn't talk enough about, probably. And he is so good in this movie. He's doing his Sam Rockwell thing. It's sort of like
it works though. It's really funny.
It's actually really similar to his performance as Chuck Barris in Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, except with like a harder, darker edge.
Yeah,
like it's almost like an even more gallows humory Chuck Barris. I super enjoy Sam Rockwell in this movie.
So do I.
I was delighted by every scene he's in.
I totally agree.
The scene where Mickey Rourke reveals that he's been building drones instead of Iron Man suits.
Yeah.
And Sam Rockwell tries to get his assistant to like put this on your head. Like try to fit your head in there. It's so good.
Yeah, he's great. I loved it. He was an easy pick for me. Like I didn't have to really.
Me too. I thought of it like halfway through the movie. I was I was like laughing at something Sam Rockwell did, and I was like, he's the MVP.
Yeah. My MVP is tied also because I'll never get to do it again. With AC/DC.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah,
for the opening song and the closing song, we get a lot of Highway to Hell in that Gary Shandling closing sequence when he's decorating Rhodey and Tony. Remember that?
Yeah.
And he tells them all. It's very funny, and you're getting some Highway to Hell
he's
beats.
Begrudgingly rewarding them. It's good. Gary Shandling's great too. Maybe an honorable mention MVP to Gary Shandling.
Definitely, he has that line to Tony when he's pinning the metal on him, and Tony's like, "Ouch!" and he's like, "It's amazing how a little prick can hurt, huh?"
Yeah. I chuckled at that.
I have an LVP.
Me too.
Mine was a no-brainer. I don't know about you, but
who's your LVP?
Bill O'Reilly.
I was gonna say that! You stole mine!
I'm surprised. I didn't think he'd go there.
Yeah. Bill O'Reilly shows up for a cameo where, it's so weird because, he has lines where, he's playing himself, but, doing a news broadcast where it's tonight on The Factor, Iron Man, hero or fucking menace or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And, Yeah, he sucks, and fuck that guy. That's all I have to say.
He's like the dumb person's William F. Buckley.
That's giving him too much credit.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, what are you rating this movie?
He's like Bill Cosby, but white.
You took it for that one. I took it for the politics. We nailed them on both fronts.
Sure.
I like it. Fair and balanced.
Iron Man Deuce. I'm gonna go with I'm between a 3 and a 4. What do you got?
I'm going out a little bit on a limb here because I'm giving it 4.
Okay.
I think it's a very solid sequel. I didn't remember anything.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
Okay.
And the reason for that is it's just very, very cluttered. Like I like all the elements of Iron Man 2. Like I do think Whiplash is kind of a fun villain. I do love Sam Rockwell. The stuff with Tony's relationship to Pepper's interesting. The stuff with Tony's relationship to James Rhodes is interesting. The revenge subplot's kind of good. I like the prison break sequence.
That's cool.
There's just a lot going on, and it doesn't all and like Black Widow you have to spend time introducing. Like Jon Favreau has a couple good beats. I like when he beats up that one guy while Black Widow's beating up everybody else in the world.
I got him.
Yeah. It just sort of doesn't coalesce for me. So like there's nothing in this movie that doesn't work. I just think maybe they needed that third year in development. Like they could edit this script a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it's a mess of a movie, but it's perfectly fun and charming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so that's Iron Man 2.
All right.
Iron Man 3. Favreau's gone. He left to I think he was going to direct something that never got off the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't remember what. So the reins are passed along to Shane Black.
Your hero.
I love Shane Black.
I know.
And who's got a co-writer here, Drew Pearce.
Who's that guy?
You want me to look him up? I don't really know.
Well, not if you don't. I thought you knew something about him.
I don't.
You usually handle that stuff.
I usually do, but I was lazy. I'm gonna look him up right now. We should say
he wrote the story to Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation.
Oh, that's right. He's that guy. He's he's famously the No Heroics guy. No Heroics was sort of a TV show. I think it's British or Canadian or something. And it's like a parody of superheroes, but a very loving parody of superheroes. And so he got a lot of notice in like the comic book community after that show came out and got some work off of it. So Iron Man 3 was his first credited screenplay, which he did a draft of, and then I think Shane Black rewrote it. And now he is developing Runaways for television, which is one of my favorite all-time Marvel comics. And I believe he might be in like the Star Wars writing staff, you know, like their whole crew over there. Yeah. But yeah, Shane Black is the main creative force on Iron Man 3, and it's very, very apparent from the tone and pacing of the movie.
Yeah.
This was released May 3rd, 2013. A budget of $200 million, a box office of $1.2 billion.
Wow.
Which makes this the first film we've covered that's one of the 10 highest grossing films of all time.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I have that list.
Is this list adjusted for inflation?
It is not adjusted for inflation.
Okay. All right. So then they would be... so go ahead.
What do you got? 10 highest grossing movies of all time.
Number 9. All right, in no order because I don't have a clue. Is The Dark Knight in there?
No.
Is The Dark Knight Rises in there?
No.
Is E.T. in there?
No.
Star Wars,
Which one?
A New Hope.
No.
The Force Awakens.
Yep, that's the third highest grossing movie of all time is Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens.
Titanic.
That's number 2.
The Avengers.
That is number 5.
Spider-Man 3.
No. God.
I thought that made like some records at the time. All time. Jesus. Oh man, my brain's breaking. I'm covering, like 50 years here. So throw me a freaking bone.
The thing is, you're not. Because...
I'm not breaking my brain?
No, we're not covering 50 years here. Because...
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Like, box office has gotten so crazy in the last few years that the oldest movie on this list is Titanic.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the Toy Stories.
No.
I'm dying here, man.
All right,
I got two
number
things.
10 is Iron Man 3. Number 9 is a Disney animated movie.
I don't know,
It's
man.
Frozen.
Oh.
Number...
Wow.
All right, no, I'm just going to read them. Number 8 is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Makes sense.
Number 7 is Avengers Age of Ultron.
Wow, 2 Avengers movies on there.
Which means Joss Whedon has directed 2 of the 10 highest grossing movies of all time, which makes me very happy.
Wow.
Number 6 is Furious 7.
That's crazy.
Yep. Number 5 is The Avengers. Number 4 is Jurassic World.
Oh.
Number 3, Star Wars The Force Awakens. Number 2, Titanic. And the number 1 highest grossing movie of all time is still Avatar.
Oh, I should have thought of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Huh.
All right.
Wow.
Awards. Iron Man 3, again, nominated for Visual Effects Oscar, lost to Gravity, which is fine.
Yeah.
Now, we start here on an in media res opening, and then followed by some very self-aware narration.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, I'm watching a Shane Black movie. Shane Black, for those of you who don't remember, wrote the first Lethal Weapon movie. That's probably what he's most famous for, but in recent years has started writing some film noir kind of things, starting with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Great movie.
Absolutely. And most recently with The Nice Guys, which is a very good movie.
Still haven't watched it.
Yeah. Now, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang really revived Robert Downey Jr.'s career. I mean, people forget how on the outs Robert Downey Jr. was. He took a lead role in the 4th season of Ally McBeal, and then wasn't able to come back for the 5th season because of drug problems.
Was this in the late 90s or the early aughts?
That's early aughts.
Wow, so he was still fucked up in the early aughts. Because I remember him in that terrible Halle Berry movie, Gothica.
There was that Neil Jordan movie, In Dreams.
Oh, yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. had fucking no career.
Yeah.
Then, like, Shane Black threw him a bone with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang because he knew he had the goods. And I think to a lesser extent, maybe a Scanner Darkly helped him.
And, well, this is right before. I don't think it helped him, but it definitely brought him one of his greatest performances ever, which was in Zodiac.
Well, that's after.
Yeah, I know. But it's before Iron Man.
Oh, true. It is before Iron Man. And yeah, he's great in Zodiac. But, I mean, you look at that, like, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang comes out, and then all of a sudden in 2008, he's in Iron Man and Tropic Thunder. He's nominated for an Oscar. The next year, he does Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah,
I mean, and now it seems that he only plays Tony Stark.
Yeah. It's true.
I looked this up. The last movie that Robert Downey Jr. was in where he's not Iron Man is The Judge in 2014.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
But that's so crazy. And before 2014, the last movie he was in that he's not Iron Man is Sherlock Holmes 2 in 2011.
Wow. Yeah, well.
So I'm going to say the last successful non-Tony Stark role he had was Due Date 7 years ago. That's weird.
That is weird. I don't know. I guess he's just enjoying the spotlight as Tony Stark, right? He doesn't need the money, and he's just, I don't know.
It's just
kind of
super
riding
weird.
this wave.
And I'm looking at like his upcoming roles, on IMDb. 2017, he's playing Iron Man in Spider-Man Homecoming. 2018, he's playing Iron Man in Avengers Infinity War. And then he's playing Dr. Dolittle. Like, what the fuck?
It'd be nice to see him in a nice, like, Zodiac-ish type role again, or something like that.
It sure would.
Or even like a Two Girls and a Guy type role.
I love to. Underrated movie.
Great movie.
So... like, what the fuck, dude? Like, Robert Downey Jr. could be getting nominated for Oscars on the regs.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Bradley Cooper every time.
I was thinking about this when you just said that. Downey does have that one Oscar nod, right, for Chaplin?
Has he only been nominated for one Oscar?
I don't know, but that's the one that sticks out for me. And
I'm going to look that up.
There was a lot of Chaplin stuff in Iron Man 3, I'll tell you that.
He's been nominated for 2 Oscars. Oh, right, because Tropic Thunder.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of pratfalls in Iron Man 3.
Did you know that Robert Downey Jr. has 2 Golden Globes? This is crazy. You'll never guess what they're for.
I certainly won't.
He won for Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role in a TV show for Ally McBeal back in 2001. And then he won Best Performance by an Actor in a Comedy or Musical in 2010 for Sherlock Holmes.
Jesus.
The Golden Globes are fucking weird.
Oh my God. Well, you got like 50 French guys doing it all, right? That's like what it is.
Yeah. So Shane Black gave him that role in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and 8 years later, Downey pays it forward.
That's a good point. You think that's definitely what's going on there?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Gets him this shit directing Iron Man 3. Favreau had wanted Iron Man to be a trilogy. He wanted to direct all 3.
Mm-hmm.
And Downey was excited about that. And so when it turned out Favreau couldn't direct the 3rd one, Downey said he still wanted the movie to mean something. He wanted it to be like a real film instead of just another Iron Man movie. And so he got Shane Black involved because he knows Shane Black is an artist with the juice. So, I mean, a lot of Shane Black... Shane Black has some writer ticks, shall we say.
Mm.
And a lot of them show up in this movie.
Tell me some of them.
Okay.
And then I'll tell you the word that he uses.
Number 1, in media res.
Yeah.
Number 2, opening narration.
Mm.
Number 3, Christmas.
That's very funny.
Yeah, he loves Christmas.
Sure does.
Number 4, the manly lead actor having panic attacks.
Oh.
That's a thing.
Okay.
Number 5, black and white buddies.
Oh. Okay.
Because this movie turns into a buddy cop comedy between Iron Man and War Machine.
It sure does.
Yep. And I mean that's what I have, and just like self-referential dialogue. My favorite bit in the entire movie is Iron Man sort of blasting through the henchmen, in this base, and then he gets to the last one, and the guy just holds up his hands and says, "Honestly, I hate working here. They are so weird."
That is great. That is very funny.
That's a great moment, and
love
Tony
that.
lets him go.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, Iron Man continuing his path of superhero murderous destruction.
So, as someone who loves Shane Black, has followed his career for a long time, and likes his writer's ticks, I enjoy Iron Man 3 as a Shane Black movie, if not really as an Iron Man movie. And that'll probably be where our difference lies.
That's interesting. Yeah. Well, can I say the word that he uses now?
Sure.
He gets a pussy in there.
Sure. Sure, why not?
Because when he's in Predator, he famously is the one who tells 2 pussy jokes.
Yep.
And he gets a pussy in there. So in Iron Man 2, we got a fuck, and in Iron Man 3, we got a pussy. And the pussy one really threw me off.
Yeah, he wanted a cocksucker.
Because he says it to a kid.
And Jon Favreau was like, "Would you settle for a pussy?"
You mean... Oh, yeah, Jon Favreau.
He's executive producing.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so he's like, yeah, just settle for a pussy.
Yeah.
Shane's like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. We're back to mediocre music. Yet another composer, Brian Tyler.
No, I'm gonna... It is
Getting
mediocre.
Better.
It is mediocre. I think it's the best of the 3.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's at least... The tone is different in Iron Man 3, which I really like, actually, because Iron Man 1 and 2, as much as I like Jon Favreau, they're fairly generic, brightly lit superhero movies.
Yeah.
Iron Man 3, because Shane Black is one of these directors that has a style and can really only make movies that feel like Shane Black movies, makes Iron Man 3 just like this moody noir character piece.
Yeah,
and so he gets music that fits that.
Yeah, the guy, Brian Tyler, has a shit ton of credits. None of them ring any bells to me in terms of them being good scores, but this gig did land him further work in the Marvel world. He went on to score the second Thor movie and the second Avengers movie.
Who could forget the score in the second Thor movie?
Everyone.
It's unforgettable.
Yeah, everyone.
All right.
But he changed directors of photography, and that interested me. He went to an Academy Award winner, back-to-back guy. His name is John Toll. And he shot Legends of the Fall, which he won an Oscar for, and then the next year he won for Braveheart.
Oh, so he's a real epic guy. That's interesting because Iron Man 3 is kind of a smaller film than the first 2.
Meaning the way it's composed?
No, just it's a little bit more intimate and moody and
I meant from a shooting perspective, but yeah. But so I don't know, he shot those 2 movies and a bunch of other stuff, but
okay.
I couldn't really. I mean, the Iron Man movies are just a lot of these superhero movies. It's difficult to figure out like what's good cinematography and what isn't because there's so much CGI going on. You know what I mean?
There's too much CGI going on.
That's
honestly the second and third.
For me, the second one not as much.
I noticed it. I actually noticed it more in the second one.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not. Yeah.
Because I think Iron Man himself is a little more practical in this one. There's a lot of random shit flying around at you, but in the second one, there's too much of just our main character being a CGI creation.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, by the way, another, like you said, another Shane Black tick is a kid. There's a kid in this movie.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So you want to do the plot? I did too.
By the way, I'm looking at this John Toll guy.
Yeah.
He works with the Wachowskis now. He did Jupiter Ascending and Sense8. He did Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk by it's an Ang Lee movie where he used that really, really sped up frame rate shit.
Mm.
Yeah. It's
So this guy's not afraid to work with anyone.
Cloud Atlas. He did the Breaking Bad pilot.
Wow.
He's worked with Cameron Crowe a lot. He did Almost Famous.
Vanilla Sky, right?
And Elizabethtown.
Yeah, I remember.
He was the DP on the Thin Red Line. This guy's had a crazy career. The Breaking Bad pilot.
So he's worked with Terrence Malick. I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah.
And in Vanilla Sky, whatever you think of the movie, it's an astonishing looking movie.
He's worked with your man Ed Zwick.
Did he shoot Last Samurai?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, interesting career. I like this guy.
Yeah.
And Iron Man 3. All right. The plot is largely taken from the first 6 issues of Warren Ellis's reboot of the Iron Man comic from the mid-2000s.
I think I read that.
Sure. The storyline Extremis.
Yeah. Which I always thought was pronounced extremis.
But it is not.
Yeah.
A lot is taken from that storyline. The Extremis thing with it's like a new version of the Iron Man armor. And also the Maya Hansen character, who in this movie is played by Rebecca Hall, who's a good actor.
I like her.
Yeah. And, there's a lot going on. A lot taken from the comics.
Yeah.
AIM, Advanced Idea Mechanics, is a thing that's been around since like the 70s, and in this movie is embodied by Guy Pearce as the head of it.
Yeah.
In a very over-the-top performance.
Over-the-top performance, and I think... I was thinking a lot about Sam Rockwell.
Me too. It is a little bit of a poor man, Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, and that's not even fair to Guy Pearce, because I think he's one of the best actors around.
That's crazy. He's a good actor, but let's not go nuts.
I disagree, and I could pull up a lot of movies if you want, but that's okay.
I mean, L.A. Confidential and Mildred Pierce. What else?
That's all you're giving him.
That's his career to me.
I guess I've seen him probably in more things than you, though.
Look, I've seen Memento, but I'm not going to go ahead and praise his performance in that.
I hate Memento.
Yeah.
I liked him in that little movie, Lawless. He's great. No comment from you.
He's no LaBeouf.
I like him in The Proposition.
I didn't see that.
I liked him in The Road.
I don't even remember him being in The Road.
He's barely in it. I liked him in The King's Speech, which you probably hated. Yeah. I love him in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, he's pretty good in that. I'll give you Animal Kingdom.
He's hilarious in the very self-aware, funny action movie from 2012 called Lockout, which you probably never saw.
Or heard of.
It's very funny. He's a total chameleon in Prometheus. Do you remember him in that?
No, but stay tuned.
Yep, and he's in a cool movie from a few years ago, an Australian movie called The Rover, and he's excellent in that.
All right, maybe you have seen him in more shit. But whatevs.
Whatever, yeah. Anyway, he's not, it's just his, like, quips and the way he delivers the dialogue is just, like you said, it's a poor man's Sam Rockwell. It doesn't work.
The other big comic book thing in this is the Iron Patriot armor. Which, of course, in the comics was after Secret Invasion, Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, became the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. And he was the Iron Patriot. He took Tony Stark's designs and made the Iron Patriot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be like a funny... riff on kind of the appropriation of patriotism in the wake of 9/11, and it's pretty good. I like that, and they used it.
You like it in the comic, or you like it in the movie?
I like it more in the comic, but I think it's used pretty well in the movie. Yeah. I
could have done without it.
All right.
I like this. I like the callback, which I would have never caught, and I didn't catch when I saw it in the theater because I hadn't seen the first Iron Man in a million years. We get to see his buddy from the cave, Yinsen.
Yeah.
in that actual meeting that they had. Remember that? And because he says it to him that they met before, and now we see that when they actually met. That was a nice little touch. No, you didn't care.
Are you complaining about continuity errors right now?
No, I'm not complaining. I'm not being sarcastic.
Oh, okay. I thought you were.
Oh, no. I know it's hard to tell sometimes. No, not at all. I thought it was very cool.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, wow, that's a nice little touch.
Sure.
If you want sarcasm, we'll get to when we get to the Mandarin.
Oh, okay. Let's get to the Mandarin because this is one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Ironically?
No, like legit. I have a lot to say about this.
Okay, then that's probably where we're going to part ways.
Okay, so Iron Man 3, they set up the villain to be the Mandarin, who is like Iron Man's arch enemy in the comics.
Yeah,
he's like a major villain. It's Ben Kingsley delivering this crazy performance. A really... And I remember seeing the trailers and thinking like, oh man, what are they going for? Some kind of like iconic villain performance? Because in many ways, like the movies that had come out recently were like Dark Knight Rises. And like it felt like he was trying to be like a Bane or something. And I thought that was weird at the time, but then it turns out that he's not actually the Mandarin. Ben Kingsley is playing an actor that's been hired to play a villain.
Yeah.
And I am into it.
That's where I'm out. Yeah.
Okay. To me, this is Shane Black taking shots at how serious the Christopher Nolan Batman movies take themselves.
Oh, you think so?
I think this is Shane Black calling bullshit on Heath Ledger and Tom Hardy.
Wow.
I really do. And I think
it's not necessary to do, but okay.
But I think it's funny.
Yeah. I didn't like it, and I'll tell you why. It's inventive. I'll tell you. I'll give you that. But I liked Ben Kingsley so much in that like weird dialect he was using in that tone. I thought it was very menacing and effective.
You think he's too good?
So I was like very disappointed when it turned out that it was like a fucking farce, and I was just like, oh man. And that I remember when I saw it in the theater, and it was the same this time.
You're just mad because they got you.
No, I love it. I like it when movies get me. I didn't agree with the choice. It didn't work for me.
I thought it was great, man. I love it. Yeah. It's almost like this movie saying, you see how easy it is to do that bullshit? We're doing something else.
Yeah. Whereas I thought it was kind of a cop-out.
I thought it was like the reverse of a cop-out. I thought it would just be like, we're doing this again.
Yeah, I know, like two big villains, and yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really clever. I liked it a lot. And that's another Shane Black quote, like commenting on Hollywood. I mean, most of his movies take place in L.A.
That's true.
Yeah.
What, the self-seriousness?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and The Nice Guys both do that a lot. And it's why like Lethal Weapon was so refreshing at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I really like that. Not to say Iron Man 3 is like a perfect movie. I got like bored a couple times. It is 20 minutes too long.
It is really long.
Yeah.
I felt the length.
I felt the length like a lot.
Yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow, who I was finally starting to give some rope to in the second movie, I think like isn't even trying in this one.
I agree. And then and I also had a thought too, in the end when she puts on when the Iron Man suit goes on her, like again, I was just thinking of how unbelievable it was, just given her abilities like as an actress and her like physical stature. Like it just doesn't work. I felt like I was watching a literal Jane Austen. I felt like I was watching Emma put on an Iron Man suit, and I think another actress could have definitely pulled that off.
I agree. That's from the comic, though, and Gwyneth Paltrow's who they have to work with. Gwyneth Paltrow, by the way, with blonde hair in this movie, she couldn't be bothered to dye her hair a third time.
She's tired.
Yeah. I have to work on
her. She has to work on what?
On goop. I have to work on goop.
Her and her red hair, they made a conscious uncoupling.
Yeah, she was probably going through her conscious uncoupling during this movie.
Probably. It's why her mind is elsewhere.
Yeah. It was all... Yeah, like, even her hair was all yellow.
Nice! Oh, she was working on that Coldplay fusion reactor, am I right?
Oy.
All right, well.
Man. All right, Paltrow. Anyway, and here's and so it's presented as a trilogy, which I get. You want to wrap up the Iron Man part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and have him only appear in like Avengers and Captain America and Spider-Man
and everything else. Yeah. And at the end of the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah. So, like, you. So the fucking stinger in this one isn't even a tease. It's just doing a nice thing where it's wrapping up Iron Man.
Yeah.
And that
I liked it though a lot.
Me too. And it's kind of nice that they gave a proper ending to this particular superhero's story. But it doesn't work as a trilogy because so much of the storyline in this third one rides on him having panic attacks from the events of the Avengers.
Right.
And so the entire time I'm like, we're watching this as a franchise for the podcast.
That's right.
And it really did feel like I was supposed to have watched the Avengers between Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3.
That's very true.
And
it's
that's
100% true. Yeah.
And that's annoying. Like, it's one thing, you can like reference the Avengers all you want, but like the solo movies should stand on their own in some way.
I agree.
And this one really doesn't, and I feel like they don't pay enough credence to that these days. As much as I liked Captain America Civil War, that's an Avengers movie.
Yeah, that, and in Captain America Civil War, this kind of happens again because Thor and Hulk are absent, and you're just supposed to remember that from Age of Ultron. You have to, like, recall, oh, right, Thor's off planet, and so is Hulk.
Right.
And so that's why their absence is, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's an odd way to go with some of these films. And, you know, I assume we're going to get more of that in Thor Ragnarok because we're going to have to get some kind of line of dialogue explaining where Thor was during all of this and Hulk during all of this.
I guess, is that the plan? Like, the first two solo movies for any franchise are going to be standalone solo movies, and then the third one, we're just going to bring in the entire Marvel Universe.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
because that's what we're doing with Thor. The first two were normal movies. Now the third one's going to be a buddy movie with the Hulk. The first two Captain America movies are pretty legit Captain America movies, and then the third one was this like universe-spanning thing with like Spider-Man and Iron Man in it.
Yeah,
like it seems like that's what we're doing now.
Well, I think so because also I read Infinity War is going to have the Guardians of the Galaxy in it, so that's just kind of the plan ultimately, right? It's to bring everybody together. I don't know. I don't know.
I guess that's what we're doing.
And then,
for
then
better
all of a sudden,
or worse.
Yeah, right. And then we'll see Jessica Jones and Daredevil pop up in some of these.
Well, they're even doing that with fucking that because
they reference it. Yep.
No, they're doing the Defenders now. Like they're filming.
Oh well,
now.
Yeah. But I meant in Daredevil and there's and Anne and Jessica Jones and I believe the other two. There's also references to events that have happened in previous Marvel.
Well,
movies.
I mean, surely,
which I like.
In the third seasons of Daredevil and Jessica Jones and the second seasons of Luke Cage and Iron Fist, they're going to have to refer to the events of the Defenders.
Right. Well, actually, the second, not third season of Jessica Jones.
No, they're filming the second season right now, and I don't know whether it's going to come out before or after Defenders.
No. Oh, well, I saw the dates. Defenders coming out real soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in like 3 or 4 months, I think.
Oh shit! I'm kind of excited about that. I have not watched any Iron Fist yet, so
I saw it all. Yeah.
Was it good? A lot of people hated it.
I know they did. Yeah, I like it. It's the least of the 4, but it's totally fine. And this overreaction to hating it is absurd. It's completely fine.
Sometimes I think like it's time for us to give someone shit. Like there have been 3 good Marvel shows. The 4th one, let's give it shit. I'm starting to read some like negative reviews of the 3rd season of Fargo, and I haven't seen it yet, but it's almost like we fawned over the first 2 seasons so much. We just gave creator Noah Hawley props for Legion. Let's talk shit now.
It's a little fatigue.
It's time for us to talk shit.
That's not very fair, though.
I agree, but you know,
that's what happens. Yeah.
All right. Do you have anything else to say about Iron Man 3?
Not really. I will say that I did like it more this time than I did in the theater. I would have said before I watched it last night that it's the weakest Marvel movie.
That's crazy.
I wouldn't say that now. Yeah. I don't know.
The weakest Marvel movie is Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yeah, you're probably right. As soon as you started saying it, I was like, yeah, that's probably true.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I'll say what's in my notes. Hey, William Sadler plays the president in this movie.
That's right.
The great character actor William Sadler, who we talked about in Die Hard 2.
Right, and I had given a superhero mention for being in this movie.
That's right. And that just kind of made me want William Sadler to be the president.
Yeah, absolutely.
He'd be a great president.
Be a great president.
Yeah. All right. That's all I got.
Yeah, all right. I got.
Wait. No. One more thing.
Sure.
I thought of you while watching this movie, Henry.
Okay.
Because the first 2 Iron Man movies open with AC/DC songs.
Yeah.
And then this third one opens with a flashback to 1999 or something. And so the the song you hear is Eiffel 65's Blue Da Ba Dee Da Ba Da. And I was just picturing you in the theater the first time watching this movie, waiting for the AC/DC song and getting that and being mad. And it made me happy.
That's very funny. Very thoughtful. Yeah, I knew there wasn't going to be when I saw it, but it's a step down from the opening songs of those 2. That's for sure.
Is Eiffel 65's Blue Da Ba Dee not as good as Back in Black?
Although we do get one more taste of AC/DC in the Marvel universe in the first Avengers movie. Tony is listening to it in his suit.
Yeah, Thunderstruck, right?
No, Shoot to Thrill Again.
Oh, really?
Which is essentially his theme song, I guess. Yeah, because he's listening to it and everyone else can hear it, which I think is funny too. He's like amplifying his own soundtrack when he's like flying into Germany to deal with Loki.
Sure. I don't remember, but
no, I know.
Yeah. Iron Man 3. I'm gonna give this a sweet. Ooh, no, you know what? I'm gonna give it a 3, but I do like it quite a bit. Yeah,
I'm giving it a 3.
Okay.
Yeah, it falls under kind of our U.S. Marshals rule, where it's kind of for me the definition of a 3-star movie.
By the way, I think it's a little better than that. I considered 4.
I did not at all. 3 is perfect for me.
But I thought of U.S. Marshals, by the way, because it's franchise crossover. Robert Downey Jr.
That's right. We talked about him before. We didn't really talk at all about Ben Kingsley, his career, but maybe No, we probably never will again.
I mean, Ben Kingsley's a guy that's
what are you gonna say?
He's in a ton of shit. I think he's a talented actor, but I think more often than not, he's not trying.
Really?
Yeah. like I get bored of Ben Kingsley the same way I get bored of like Morgan Freeman. Where it's just like I've seen him do the same shit over and over again.
That's interesting.
And I'm bored of it. And he does what he does very well, but I'm sick of it. He has like 200 credits on IMDb, I'm sure.
It's fucking Gandhi, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, listen, I'm not talking shit about Gandhi. He's great in that. He's great in certain movies. I love him in Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
But I get bored of Ben Kingsley, honestly.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got a superhero count that's again.
Wait, MVP, LVP.
Oh well, sometimes we do.
Oh, okay, fine. Do superhero count first.
I have two, but both again. Are they superhero movies? You ready?
Yep.
Are you ready?
I am ready. Yes.
RoboCop.
I don't think it is. But who's in RoboCop?
Miguel Ferrer, who plays
sure,
Vice President.
Yeah, Miguel Ferrer.
He died recently.
That's right. Late great Miguel Ferrer from the Law and Order franchise. Is that right?
I don't know.
I believe that's what I know him from.
I saw him in Central Park once when I was walking.
So he's definitely in Law and Order.
Right.
Yeah. He's a good actor. He's disgraced in this film.
Yes.
Yeah. He's a crooked vice president.
And in one of the worst movies I've ever had the privilege of seeing in the theater, and if I could get my money back for this, I would. Is the Lone Ranger a superhero?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. James Badge Dale was in that, who is another actor I really like.
A fine actor. I liked him on that show Rubicon on AMC.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. Wait, no, maybe that's not what I'm thinking of. Let me look up James Badge Dale really quick.
He was in The Pacific on HBO, I think.
Yeah, that I know he was in, but what's
and he's in a lot of
Rubicon. Yeah, I'm right. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I like that guy.
He's so
I got no
actor.
superhero. So there's a zero count on this one then.
Well, not really. All right. Who's the MVP?
I'm going to go full circle, and I'm going to give it to Robert Downey.
Giving it to Downey again.
Yeah, I liked his performance in this, and since I don't like the movie that much, he at least was still funny and entertaining. So I'm going to give it to him. I'm
giving it to Shane Black.
Okay.
Give this franchise a little bit of life.
Yeah, all right. My LVP is not the actor, but the Mandarin.
I knew you were going to say that shit.
Just like Ironmonger in the first one was my LVP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My LVP, I'm gonna go with Guy Pearce.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just a poor man Sam Rockwell. Honestly, put Sam Rockwell, like if Iron Man 2 didn't exist and Shane Black wrote and directed this Iron Man 3 with Sam Rockwell in the Guy Pearce role, I might be a little bit more interested.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's a good call. Yeah.
All right, now, let's rank the Iron Man movies.
All right. You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I figure. I'll go 1, 3, 2.
Okay.
But 3 and 2 are fairly close for me.
Yeah.
But there's no bad Iron Man movie. And I don't even think there's a bad movie Iron Man has appeared in.
No. Not off the top of my head.
No, but,
we'll see with Spider-Man.
Yeah, we sure will. All right, so that's Iron Man. What's
folks.
happening next week, buddy?
Next week, we're going to put Baby in a corner, and we're going to be doing a one-off show of Dirty Dancing, and we're going to have the time of our lives. And Dirty Dancing Havana Nights.
Dirty Dancing Havana Nights, which I have discovered in the last week since we've decided to do Dirty Dancing, that girls of a certain age love the soundtrack to Dirty Dancing Havana Nights.
Interesting.
Yeah. My therapist told me that she has the soundtrack to Dirty Dancing Havana Nights on her iPod. Yeah.
I will be paying specific attention then.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was a kid, the soundtrack to the first movie was fucking huge.
Yeah, big time.
It's a
Oscar
monster.
winner, but we'll get to it next week.
Oh, okay.